You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.
Well, good morning. Good Monday morning, everyone.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome to our show this morning, Table for Five. This Monday, beautiful Monday morning, January 22nd, correct? Is it 22nd?
Yeah.
2018. Welcome to our show, Table for Five. Here we have four people. We are three people.
Three people. We're a table of four.
Yeah, we're a little bit, disheveled today.
Yeah, this morning
yeah, it's a little bit crazy. But yes, good morning to you. Good morning to you here at the table. And good morning to our listening and our viewing audience, where you will always have a seat here at our table, here on Table for Five.
Yeah.
We hope that you will join us every Monday from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
That's right. And you
catch us on our video channel right now. We should be up on Facebook Live.
Yeah, I'm trying to find
if you guys want to jump on, tell your friends, family to join in on the conversation, join in on the show. We got a lot to talk about today. We're going to be like really tickety talking. So if you guys want to jump in on the conversation, you're going to have to call in. Hopefully you won't have to call in multiple times. I'm going to try to be over here looking.
Yeah,
but I might be like in the moment, in the conversation.
Where's she going?
But she's, we got things to do here. We're moving around. It's okay. But if you want to get situated and call in, grab a cup of coffee, grab some milk and cookies. That sounds really good right now. Grab some breakfast burrito and some tea, and give us a call. Get your phones ready. To call 818-570-5085. Again, 818-570-5085. So you want to jump in on our conversation today?
Yeah, and if you want to follow us on all our social media platforms, you can follow us, of course, on Facebook, Instagram, Table45, Twitter, @Table45, and our website, which I always say is our one-stop shop, where you can find out all the information. You can catch all the old shows, guests, emails, email us on any kind of topics you may want to submit. And also you can advertise with us. If there's a product that you have that you're interested in, you want people to know about, just send us an email through our website under Advertise with Us, and someone will be very professional and contact you and get all that information to you. So
I love that how you say that they're going to be professional.
They're going to be very professional and contact you and get all that information to you so that you can advertise with us and we can just tell people about your products. Yeah. So we want to let you know about that. And also, if you, I don't see it on Facebook Live right now, but you could just call us. Today's going to be an interesting conversation. It's going to be about the Women's March. As you can see, we have our little pink hats, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yes.
But call us at 818-570-5085. Hit us up and let us know if you went to the Women's March. We want to hear about your experience, or if you don't care about the Women's March, or you
want to know why
there's a Women's March.
Oh my God, all these posts on Facebook and people commenting. I cannot wait to get into that because I was ready to fight somebody.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
I had really positive.
No, not on my personal one, but like on the news.
Overall.
When they would like go live, they had like some live feeds and stuff, and people were posting some crazy. So we will talk about it.
Yes,
it's gonna be basically a whole show of hot topics today. So those hot topics are going to include the Women's March. It's all about, really, for us, the Women's March, because that's where we were on Saturday. And it was very fantastic for us. And so we're going to be talking about that a lot today, in the different places that it was. So if you were in any of the cities, major cities, New York, Washington, Chicago, Philadelphia, Los Angeles, Florida, Oklahoma, Virginia, Las Vegas, Utah, even in Canada, Quebec, Paris,
Australia, Germany.
It was international. Paris, Australia,
London.
Germany,
but that
London.
Speaks. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's just jumping ahead.
I want to jump right on in.
And then we're going to talk about a little bit about the government shutdown.
Really?
What's next? What's happening next? And then, of course, the award shows are last night, the SAG Awards. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Jump into this is award show season.
Yes.
Everybody has an opinion. There's a lot of political. I guess you could say there's some controversy right now around it. People are talking about the award shows, I think, a little bit more than they normally would. We normally talk about it like fashion and stuff, and who's wearing this and who did good and blah blah blah. But it's a little bit different conversation on the red carpet these days, which I think is great. So we're gonna get into that, talk about that.
And we are live on Facebook. I just found it. I'm having a rough morning. Bear with
me.
Bear with me.
It's rough.
But if you're wondering who's this, we have Emmy-nominated costume designer. Yeah, exactly. She would know a lot about award season and fashion. Rita McGee. And she has been on our show before, but on the audio. So this is the first. Wow. That's loud. That was loud.
Well, it was not loud to me. Y'all just not ready for it?
Oh, no. Okay. I'm on fire in these headsets.
Sorry. We need to give her a nice applause because she is a fantastic guest, friend of the show.
Friend of the show.
So happy.
So you get to see her.
Yes.
Which I just love how we get to bring our guests who are on the audio side, and now people can put a face to the voice. Awesome. So this is going to be great. Exactly. So thank you, Rita, for being here.
Thank you. Yes.
This is going to be great.
I'm excited.
Yeah.
So I'll do my best with the hot topics.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Just jump right in.
Yes.
You'll be fine.
So I want to, because you mentioned the award shows, I want to talk about that because that was
Are we
last
talking
night.
about that first?
Yeah, I want to do that because the Women's March is a little bit more extended, I think.
Yes.
So last night, I don't know if you picked, did you watch the SAG Awards?
I didn't.
You didn't? Did you watch them?
I tried to tape it.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is my disclaimer because I've been missing out a lot. We switched over from like cable and all that other kind of stuff. We are like anti-establishment. Actually, we're just trying to save money. So we did the whole like Hulu thing. So that's what we're doing now, which I don't really know, Mark Grigsby, how much money we're saving. Are we really saving money? I don't know. Apparently, we've got really fast internet, which I think that was really the ultimate goal anyways for gaming in our house. And so I think it's all a farce.
So you got rid of cable?
So we got rid of regular cable. So in regular cable, you have like the DVR, and it was very easy to, navigate, and you tape stuff, and then you go to a specific place and look. So now I don't really know where to find stuff. So I don't really know how to like tape stuff, and I'm still navigating it. We've had it for, I don't know, maybe a couple of weeks. So I feel like I'm back to that. Supposedly, yes, it is, because you're not paying the cable companies. Like we're only paying the cable company for our internet service.
Oh, okay.
And that's it. Like our phones, we use our cell phones, and we use our phone through the computer. And so we omitted the cable box. We bought like the Fire TV thing. So it's just a different setup, and it's less expensive because you're not paying on a month. Well, you are paying a monthly fee for it, but it's a significantly lower monthly fee.
That's a lot.
And they're not charging us for like the box. Well, because it's a scam. To me, it's all a scam. It's a ripoff, I think. Because remember the day when you just turn on your television when you had like 7 channels and you had like the little antennas?
Yeah.
And then you turn the antennas and we didn't have to mess with all this foolishness.
I know,
and
but we didn't have 5,000 channels.
But do we need 5,000 channels? Anyways.
Yeah.
That's a different
we
conversation.
Need at least 100.
100 channels.
I want HGTV. I want USA cable.
But it should be simpler. Like, I don't understand why we can't just have all those many dials or click through.
And go click, 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 click. Audio.
Yeah. Oh, there it goes. Okay, we're back on.
Oh, Felicia's just messing around.
I didn't do
today.
anything. I didn't touch nothing.
Wow. Okay. Well,
so yes.
To you
so
for
I didn't.
Trying to be green.
Yes, we're trying to be green. We're trying to save some money. We're trying to do all that. So anyhow, I kind of missed it, but I was watching the red carpet show on E, which I thought was very good and entertaining, and they did not talk a lot about fashion. So I wanted to ask Rita about that. Like, how are you feeling about that? Have you heard about them not really talking about people's fashion or asking who are you wearing, so on and so forth?
Well, when I saw the
Golden
Globes, I did like that they were in black. I liked it. It was like after 5 evening attire, and I'm totally fine when they don't always say what you're wearing, because sometimes I feel like it's really shallow. You know, that all. You know, I did this great work of art on camera, on screen.
Oh, that's good.
And on top of that, these actors are so talented in so many different other areas of life as well, too, that they have opinions on life and politics, on being green, and they paint, or they do architecture, they sing, or they do poetry, and then the first thing is, what are you wearing? It's so like, okay, yeah, you look great, and you had a team put you together. But I think it's great to have a different conversation.
Yeah, I agree.
Because you can look at the pretty dress, and Google it or find it out, but I'm not always gonna see any of my friends and be the first thing like, what are you wearing?
Right.
I'm very quick to be like, oh my gosh, I love your glasses. Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
But then I still jump into, how is the kids? How are you doing?
Right.
Oh my gosh, where'd you get that? You know, like how women talk. But to always be the first thing is, what are you wearing? It's like, really?
Yeah.
We do need to, as a whole of what is going on in the world, come to a different level than, oh, what are you wearing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
What kind of dresses? Whose dresses?
No, I totally agree with her.
Yes.
And I
So
think a lot of
sad.
that also birthed from the Time's Up movement when they at the Golden Globes, they were wearing black. And the question was, why are you wearing black? Not what are you wearing? So that's kind of spurred the conversation to,
and it seemed to carry over because I didn't. Well, this pre
it didn't carry over. That's my controversy right now.
So what were you watching? A different program?
No. What do you mean?
They weren't asking who are you wearing
at the SAG red carpet.
At least the red carpet that I was watching on E. The conversation was more, to me, I just heard it was geared all towards, what are they there for? How are they feeling? It was more like I didn't hear Juliana Rancic ask one person, but I didn't watch the whole thing. I probably caught like the last 45 minutes of it. I didn't hear her ask anybody, who is this that you're wearing?
Right.
I heard several people say, oh my God, your dress is gorgeous. You look beautiful. And she's like, oh, you look beautiful too. And then they went into a different conversation, which I found it was very refreshing.
It was refreshing. And I also think they're trying to be politically correct because now when you compliment a woman, how are you really complimenting a woman?
Right.
A man, you could say, oh, that's a great tuxedo, and you keep it moving. But with a woman, it's like, who are you wearing? I love the way you look, or you look, and then all of a sudden, am I being assaulted? I'm not being cavalier about it,
person
or flippant,
talking.
but the language now has shifted to, differently. But what I wanted to say was SAG yesterday, very few, if maybe a handful of the presenters, celebrities in the audience wore black. So I was like, okay, so the black thing was only for the Golden Globes and we're not doing that across all the award shows. So I was kind of annoyed by that. I was like, okay, so only the Golden Globes did a very public and international statement.
Well, do you feel like they need to keep doing it?
I think for this award season,
for the whole
Costume Design
season.
Guilds, you have to wear black. Did you get that? No?
I have to read it.
Yeah, they're requiring everybody to wear black. So there are some, in the Costume Design Guild.
Is it just for a fashion statement, or is it in?
No, it's still in protest.
In solidarity.
Yeah, in solidarity and in protest of the movement, the Time's Up movement, and bringing awareness to that. So I was like, all these women who were, and I'm being really honest, all these women who were in the audience who have, at some level of their career, at some point, and I'm not saying all, some, and there were those who were presenters, spoke against somebody in protest. But I felt like this was more so because they were the actors. This was the show where they should have worn black.
Oh.
This was the one.
Yeah.
Not the Golden Globe. Like, this was the one
because
where
you feel like the
everybody,
SAG
'cause they're
Awards
the one,
are industry.
They're actors.
Yeah.
It's the
They're
actors
showing
honoring the
support
actors
for each other. That makes sense.
So I'm like, why? There was white, yellow, green. I mean,
that's a good point.
It was a rainbow. I mean, the whole black thing. I don't know if there was a memo that went out and said we're not wearing black to this award show, because
or they didn't get the memo, there wasn't a memo that went out that said we should all wear black in solidarity. So people were just like, okay, I figure I'll just wear whatever I want to wear.
I was really annoyed by that. I was like, this was the award show where they should have done it.
I could see that.
Versus
it
the
didn't
Golden
bother me,
Globes
but I can
is
understand.
much more of a universal. Producers, there's everything. This was just actors being honored by actors, and acknowledged. So I just felt I was like, well, what is this is so hypocritical. This is so hypocritical. Why not take this platform as well? If they're asking the Costume Design Guild and the designers to wear black, and they're just the designers, and so I was just like, what was that all about?
Did they miss the mark?
Yeah, I kind of feel like they dropped the ball on that.
I can see that. I can see it.
The only thing that was, women's power was there were only female presenters. They did that intentionally.
Oh, okay.
And the first female host. But there were no male presenters, which was kind of like, okay. So, I mean, I just felt like they missed something.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sterling K. Brown again. He won for Best Actor.
Oh, very good.
In a dramatic series. First African-American to win in that category.
Let's give him a little quick.
So, yes. So that was a big deal. He made history last night for SAG. But anyway, that was just my beef, was like, wow.
Yeah.
This was a moment that everybody, you have to keep it alive for this if it's the
at least
awards-
for this season.
for the award season,
I
keep
get
it
you.
alive.
Yeah.
And then next year we'll go back to being glamorous and.
But
you know,
don't stop the conversation.
Right.
I really like that if they would just stop asking people who are they wearing.
You want them to go back to saying who they're wearing?
No, I want them to stop. Like,
Oh,
don't go
yeah.
back to that.
Let me tell you something.
What
The
were you
only
gonna
people that are regretting that are the designers that put the people
yeah.
in the clothes.
Yeah.
Those are the only people that are going.
Then people might have to actually start paying for their clothes.
paying for their clothes. What a concept in
Yeah.
Hollywood.
I mean, of course, I love clothes, but I do think that the conversation should be a little bit more than
Yeah.
just like.
You
what
need to
are you
get close to
wearing?
the mic because
I
I'm
think,
getting.
yeah, I think the conversation does need to be more about
Yeah.
than what.
And
are
I'm
you
glad
wearing.
that
And I
you're
love
saying
clothes.
that too. Yeah, because you're a style
Yeah.
costumer. You know, you are fashion. That's
Yeah.
what you do. And for you to say, you know what, there has to be a bigger conversation than
Yeah.
just that.
Because a lot of times I'll just watch it without sound because I want to see what they're wearing,
Oh,
but I just want to hear more. So
gotcha.
I'm for the clothes. Just let's open up the conversation.
And just be. I just feel like they dropped the ball yesterday with the whole movement.
Yeah.
This is a season. This is an award season where that should have been. That has to be consistent.
Yeah.
Like for the
I agree.
Oscars.
Well, and if they made a big deal about only having female presenters,
Right,
Which
they were
again,
trying
I
to
don't
make a
really
statement.
like. I don't really love the fact that we're excluding, because I just feel like any type of exclusion, it just doesn't make anybody feel good. It's not good for anybody. So, I mean, I get maybe where they were coming from when they say, okay, we're only going to have female presenters. But then, I don't know, again, what kind of message does that send, too? Like, don't exclude people. I don't know. I don't know if I like that part of it. I would rather have everybody worn black and then had a mix of male and female
I agree.
presenters and not made such a big deal about it. We're only going to, because is it going to only be women just for this one time, and here women here, we're going to throw you this little crumbs.
It would have been a more
right now.
impactful moment if everybody wore black and then you mixed it up like they did
Yeah.
in the Golden Globes.
Yeah.
Because we talked about they wore black, but the dresses were stunning.
Yeah.
So everybody looked stunning in their black
Still,
attire.
right.
So I just felt like the SAG Awards dropped the ball last night. I watched 2 hours of it. They were very boring. The only highlight was Sterling K. Brown and
winning.
They were boring.
Well, I
Who
heard
was
that.
the host? 'Cause I missed it.
Kristen Bell.
Oh, cute.
Kristen Bell. Yeah.
Yeah.
She was good. It was good, but it was just boring.
Yeah. Well, I heard that a lot of like Big Little Lies won a lot.
They won everything.
That was a good, it was a
Great
great show.
They won every.
saw-
No,
it's
not
a
Big
good
Little
show.
Lies. I'm sorry.
Pretty.
Not.
The one
This Is
Nicole
Us?
Kidman.
Pretty Liars. What is
Yeah.
the Big Little Lies? No. The three
the
Billboard
boards.
show.
Oh.
The
That
movie.
was good, yeah.
It won everything.
I haven't seen that yet.
It's
Was that
good.
good? Was that a good movie?
Yeah, it's really good. I liked it a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my whole little. I felt there was hypocrisy on the show last night.
Okay. So next year when y'all plan it, you need to call her.
Yeah, just get it together. Just be united.
Yeah.
A united
I agree.
front.
I hear what you're saying.
You want to be effective. It
Yeah.
has to be a united front. You can't be like, oh, this
Yeah.
award show we wear black. This award show you wear whatever you want. Oh, this award we're going to wear black again. Like what?
Yeah. Be
Come on.
consistent. Be
Yes.
consistent
Yeah.
to show, to
Don't
stand
let
up
the
and show.
times up be timed up.
You got to stay.
Oh,
Okay. If
yeah.
I get another text that
Sorry,
they can't
don't
hear
let
you.
the times up be timed up.
Yes, there you go.
What?
She's very soft spoken. That's what I mean. Okay, so
So speaking of Time's Up and speaking of women's movement and all that other kind of stuff, this weekend was, of course, the Women's March. Yes. Should we give a little
Yes,
applause
and
for that? A little quick one or a little?
that was good. That was good. I like
Okay.
that. Nice
A little
extended.
fade out.
Yeah, fade out.
Okay.
I appreciate that. Appreciate that.
No, a little
Yes.
quick in and out. Yes, the Women's March. So I don't know if any of you out there on Facebook commenting or letting us know if you were there. If you want to call in, don't forget the number to call is 818-570-5085, or you can leave a comment on Facebook.
Yes, 'cause I'm on
you
it
know
too.
what you were there, what you were feeling.
Why did you go?
Why did you go? I had so many emotions.
Yeah.
Tell me some.
Did you go? Did you go?
I didn't go.
You did not go.
You were there last year,
Yes.
My sister went last year,
and your mom.
and my mom went.
Yeah, because
Yes.
her mom was actually our guest last
Yeah.
year
Yeah.
for the movement, and your sister went this year too with
She
the
went,
girls.
yeah.
And yeah, go ahead.
And it was all of us. It was me, you, your husband, another friend of the show,
Nice.
and her husband and her
Son.
How old
Do
is
it.
How old is he?
Mateo was about 6 or 7.
Yeah,
7 or 8.
So there was a lot of children there, young adults. I saw babies in backpacks, people, pushing strollers. People had their pets there. It was amazing, like amazing. I didn't get to go last year because I was sick. I got sick like the night before, and I was so mad. But I was healthy this year, and I got up crack of dawn. It was still dark when I left my house. And we took the train down there. We met at North Hollywood. Shout out to the LA Metro station.
Excellent.
They did a fantastic job. We had no problems, zero problems. Apparently they had extra, services and extra trains running. They brought trains from different places so that people could be, getting to where they needed to go smoothly, and it wasn't really going to impact. Is that mine?
Stop, don't move.
Okay, I didn't move. I'm just moving my head. So it didn't really impact people who had to get to where they needed to go. Like if you had a job downtown, or because the world doesn't stop just because there's a march, and not everybody has the ability to stop what they're doing. A lot of people work on the weekend. Saturday is a big working day, and so some people can't take off or can't afford to take off the time of work. So they still needed to get where they needed to go, and there was a lot of road closures. I heard a lot of grumbling about that. Road closures, and there are hospitals, and people need to get to hospitals, and people need to get to work downtown. And I get that. However, it was just one day,
and they knew we were going to do it.
It wasn't like
we just showed up and got in your way.
This they got permits. That's
actually on the calendar.
Yeah, it was on the calendar. They got permits. The city knew about it. The police officers were there.
Were those the people complaining on Facebook?
I can't wait to get to that part. Yes, they were, and all those people need to shut the hell up. But anyways, so shout out to LA Metro. The Red Line got us there quickly. And it was, I can't say enough great things about them for the morning trip. Yeah,
I have to say, I attended, my husband attended with me, which I thought one of the things, you go to these marches, you really don't know what you're up against. You get all these warnings, be careful, this and the other, because, some people don't have the best intentions. Right. But I have to say, we were there from, I don't know, what time we get there, 8:30?
To the train station?
No, when we got to
the march?
March.
8:20.
About 8:20 in the morning.
It was 8:20. I was like, "Ooh, we are 10 minutes early."
Yeah, and the amount of people that were already there, like we
it
thought
was
we were early. We were late. We were late. It was at 100,000 at 8:20.
That's awesome.
At 8:20. Anyway, so we were there for the beginning of the rally. Mm-hmm. But my observation was, I love the fact that my spouse went, my best friend's spouse went. She took her son. And the amount of men that were there to support was just beautiful. Yes. And I have to say, we were there till, 2?
Yeah, I think 2.
And overall, the most peaceful, happy,
for the amount of people that were there.
For the amount of people that we were surrounded.
Women.
They were just happy.
But there was a lot of men there.
No, it was just, it was just a really,
women. But of course it would be.
But women can get crazy and catty and nasty.
They can
be. Too. Women can get testy. Listen, you got people on their periods, going through menopause, hot, cold. It was because it was freezing, and then the sun was really hot. It turned out to be a beautiful day, climate-wise.
Great for marching.
Yes, it was a perfect day for a march.
Yes.
But you had different climate situations, so people could get attitudes.
And we had a lot of homeless in the area too. We had one. I want to talk about that lady with the sign, but overall, the atmosphere was very festive and very happy,
very calm.
Very calm. There were chants and people with megaphones and stuff like that. But overall, it was just you felt so good being there. Yeah. Like it wasn't like these people need to stop. No, you just felt so happy that you just showed up and participated. Yeah. And just the nationalities, everybody, just all
walks
races.
of life.
Yeah. It was, and I loved seeing the little girls. I thought that was so great that they had a sense of just empowerment and showing up and being present.
Being supported. Showing how much support there is out there for young girls, young women, women of all ages, and then you go out into the bigger, just the human race. I feel like people showed up for the humanity and for the human race.
It wasn't just about the women.
Because it's so much more. Like that's people were asking, Women's March, don't women have rights? They already have rights. Some people on Facebook were saying they already have rights. why are all they out in the? Why are they all out in the street? They need to get back in the kitchen. There's a whole bunch of men at home starving because the women aren't home making them sandwiches.
Really?
Girl, I wanted to stab somebody on Facebook.
Was that on your feed?
It was on like ABC7.
Oh,
when they showed the live, you know,
I
they
know
had
that
like
would
live
not
and
be
all
on
these
my
people that
feed.
are like commenting, you know, underneath the live as it's streaming. Yeah, and these people were saying this: go back home. You need to be in the kitchen. Who's
it's
at home
because
cleaning?
of those folks that have those
that we
opinions.
have to be out there.
That I guess we're gonna have to be
Exactly.
marching and making this an annual thing
Yeah,
because I say
think
to
so.
y'all can suck on my ass.
Oh,
Oh,
That
wow.
was because it's too much because these people really believe, and it wasn't like one or two people; it was several.
Well, this is
several
but
people,
that
and there were
goes-
some even women saying, some even women. I can't even talk. I'm so mad. Some women even agreeing with that.
Yeah.
A woman's place should be at home in the kitchen. Why are these women leaving their children? Why are they dragging their children? These are what other women are
Yeah.
saying,
And that's why we
and
marched.
commenting.
Yes,
and
exactly.
I'm like, oh my God, there is still
Yes.
so much work to do.
Yep.
Y'all are crazy.
And that's why we elected the president that we have, and that's why we need to continue to march, because there is a little group of people, a little big group, if that's
Yeah.
such a thing, that really believe that women belong at home,
Yeah.
you know, taking care of their children. And listen, if that is the road that you've taken, I'm a stay-at-home mom. I'm
Yeah.
not saying, but it doesn't demean who I am or my opinions or my strengths.
Or don't tell me
how
that's where I
walk.
need to be.
Right.
When I've made the choice to be somewhere else. If I want to be in the kitchen, I'm gonna be in the kitchen. But I don't need you to tell me to go get in the kitchen.
Exactly.
I'm gonna
Don't
be in
do
there because
that.
I want to, and I want to be
Exactly.
cooking and making a sandwich. And if I want you to be hungry, then you're just gonna be hungry.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No, you don't have to be hungry. Go make the sandwich yourself. That's all.
Yeah,
Get
that's
up and go
true.
make it.
That's true.
You don't have to be. That's the rule in my house. You hungry? I get a text from my son. What are we having for lunch? Whatever's in the house. You
Yeah.
can make it. You're able-bodied. Put it together.
Yeah.
There's nothing, you know. But anyway, I just want to just say really
Yeah.
quickly, while we were marching, we came, downtown LA, down Los Angeles, downtown is, a bed. What do they call that? Hotbed for homelessness.
Yes.
And so there were women marching that were homeless,
Yeah.
and this woman had a little sign, and I took a picture of it, and I probably should have put it up, but what it said was very poignant. And she said, if you, why are you, oh God, I forgot.
If you care about women so much,
Right. If you care about women so much, go down to Grand and 9th Avenue and care about the homeless
Yes,
women. And I thought, oh, ouch.
Yeah.
Because we're all going to go home to our nice, cushy homes.
Yeah.
And these women stay there.
Right.
They sleep there. They eat there. That's what they
all the
know.
people in the shelters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we have to, that really bothered me in a way that it kind of made me uncomfortable to say, okay, what are you doing about these women who are in the shelters or homeless? What,
Grand and Ninth?
Huh?
The Grand and Ninth is a women's
Yeah.
shelter?
Yeah. Well, no, she said homeless women. I don't
Oh,
know that there's a homeless.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
But the homelessness there, and I thought, I'm sure, and I'm pretty positive there are women's shelters that are taking care of that. But it was
Right.
something for people to think about while you were
Yes.
marching
Yes.
for the rights of women, for the rights of other nationalities and races and
Genders.
genders. That these people are people too. You can't
Right.
discard them. And so that was really something that kind of stopped me in my tracks. I was like, oops, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We can't be that,
It was good to be mindful. I really
yeah.
appreciated
Yeah.
the different people that came out with their different signs and their different points of view. And I don't know if we have pictures or if the
Yeah,
pictures
they
were
were up,
already
yeah.
up. But we took a couple different pictures of a couple different signs that people were making. I think I had mostly Trump, anti-Trump signs. That was a really good one. That was the one where
if
he
you
was,
elect a clown,
if you elect a clown, expect a circus.
expect a circus.
And
yes.
then the other
that's
one
a good one.
was the one where it had the word, it said
Oh,
R.
Yeah.
Uh,
RA _
Yeah.
IST. C, check the box. Put a C or put a P or both.
both. If
'Cause
you put a C, it was a racist. It spelled out the word racist. And if you put a P, it spelled out the word rapist. So it was
Yeah.
interchangeable. And I was like, oh my God,
Yes.
what a
Wow.
brilliant
Yeah.
sign. I think I posted it on my Facebook, but we'll go back and post it on
It
on
will
Table
be
for
on-
Five. I thought that to me, that one for the best sign of the day for me. But I mean, there were so many people,
were,
and
yeah.
so many different signs. I would love for you guys to post more pictures of any great signs that you guys saw that you thought were really poignant, if you have a chance to today or tomorrow, whenever. But the signs, I think, were really great because it brought attention to many different causes. And so I want to go back and kind of speak to the fact of, so what was it about? Because people are like, okay, well, why? Why is it a women's march? Why are people marching? And people, first of all, were getting it confused between a march and a protest. And like, what's the difference? So I wanted to clear that up. A protest is when you are protesting against something. You have a specific thing that you are against, that you are anti. I am anti something, and we are protesting against that to bring attention to that and to say we are standing up and taking a stance against this. To me, and why they're calling it a march, is because you are marching in solidarity. You are marching to bring awareness. So you're not necessarily protesting because, and for one, there are so many different issues that were going on that you were trying to bring awareness to. So a march is something that you are bringing attention to, and you are saying this needs to be brought attention to. You need to think about this. Look at this side of the coin. This is going on. Be aware. And a protest is kind of sort of the same thing, but you're saying we are against this, or we are against this, and this, and we stand up and we stand completely against it. So get it right, people.
Yeah, it was more.
First of all,
it's more of a movement. It's not more. It's not. I don't even call it. It was a march because there was millions of people across the world doing it.
Because people came together.
Yeah. But
on a specific day, but the whole thing as a whole is a movement.
Yes, exactly. And but to your point, it wasn't just about women's issues. I mean, the rally, the women that spoke in the beginning spoke about different issues, civil rights issues, just humanitarian issues,
humanitarian equality.
It was just a lot of different issues that were being presented. So it wasn't just about women trying to be loud and take up all this room.
Right.
But it was, there was a lot of information. There was ADAs doing stuff for pro bono where you could meet at a certain street. It was very. What I loved about it was that everybody had a voice, no matter what your voice was.
Right.
If you were, chanting about DACA, if you were chanting about equal pay, if you were chanting about, equal rights, if you were chanting about immigration. It was a lot of different political and social issues that everybody had the safety to march and peacefully.
Yeah.
And I was just so proud. I was just so proud that this was done so well. I do have to say, give us a disclaimer that we got stuck at the food trucks.
Did we get stuck? Yeah, we did get stuck.
We got stuck at the food trucks, and we missed a lot of the great celebrities,
the extra speakers because there were speakers in the beginning. So when you got there, we were standing there for it was almost a good hour and a half or 2 hours. I want to say about 2 hours.
A long time.
We were standing there, which was a feat in and of itself, because you don't think that you can stand somewhere.
Ooh.
Like you can stand in a line,
but hard.
You're not moving. You're not in a line.
It's
You're
hard.
not really you were just standing, okay? And you had a lot of people shuffling back and forth. We had a lot of butts in our faces because we were standing right next to a wall. So people were trying to get on a wall and trying to stand. And again, I feel like in any normal situation, people would have been way more aggravated and agitated than they were. But people were very
accommodating,
accommodating, pretty peaceful. The annoyance level was down, which was very surprising because us as humans, we're generally typically not like that.
And you were getting sometimes pushed, people
people trying to get through, but it was okay because everybody knew that somebody had to go somewhere. People were moving for specific reasons. So we were standing around for about 2 hours, and then we started to move. And I think it was good when people started to move because they were very smart, and they had several different streets going then to a different location. We started in Pershing Square and we ended in City Hall.
We ended at the food trucks, but that's
because the food trucks were like positioned right next to City Hall.
Yes.
And so we thought we could kind of hear them and stand in line for our Puerto Rican food because we stood in line for like an hour to get some food. So we did miss some of. I really wanted to hear Mayor Eric Garcetti. I read that he said a lot of phenomenal things. So I was a little bummed that we missed that. But yeah, all in all, that was the kind of general idea of it. You move from one location to another. On the move, you're marching, you're chanting, you're showing your signs, you're talking to people along the way. There were several businesses open, from foot traffic, which I thought was great. They weren't losing out on business. You could patronize
I got Pringles.
them. Yeah, she got Pringles.
I did. I was hungry. I didn't bring snacks.
She could have got some fruit, but she didn't.
No, I got a can of Pringles, which I shared with her.
I did eat
I've done a lot of marching in my years.
Yes.
And do you come prepared? Is there like a marching? I feel like now I got it down. Like I know what to do.
Yeah, bring good sensible shoes, a backpack, something to drink. And,
but not too much, because you don't want to have to.
Right.
You don't really have to.
Yeah, but bring your own toilet paper and wet wipes.
That's a good
see?
idea for next time. I had masks because I was a little afraid. No, listen, this is a very real thing, because we're coming off of all different types of attacks.
Flu. Yeah,
the flu, the attack on people with the flu, and gunmen and people, in large crowds. I feel like now these days, people, when you gather in large crowds, you must be aware of your surroundings.
Yes.
So as soon as we got to where we were going, we exited off of the train station, the subway station, and kind of got stuck right there. And I immediately started looking around, because there was a hotel that was directly in front of us, right behind Pershing Square. There were several different buildings with all kinds of windows that anybody could go in. It could be abandoned. People could be living there. We already see what happened when people rent out hotels in Vegas. So I tried to be very aware. I was looking for my exit plan, and something that we didn't really talk about, but I wanted to touch on, was that you had to have a conversation with your kids.
Yes.
Because my family didn't come with me because they had other obligations. And so I chose to still go because I wanted to represent, and I felt it was very important for me. I felt it was important for me to show my kids and talk to my kids about this and set an example. But I had to have a conversation with them the night before, which was kind of sad and a little scary for them. That, mommy loves you very much, and hopefully this won't be the last time that I see you. But, I had to have that conversation, because you just never know.
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't know how many people were coming. You don't know with what type of intentions people are coming. And so it's a real conversation that you have to have.
I had that same conversation the night before, because my oldest was going to run my youngest to his commitments, and so I had to tell him, I said, listen, both your dad and I are going to be downtown, so we're hoping to come back home, but if we don't, this is what you need to know, and where things are, and what to do in case of an emergency, and so forth.
That's good.
But I also have to say, you have to, because just that, and he was really annoyed with me. He's like, really, Ma? I said, listen, this is the day and age we live in, and I don't want, God forbid, if something happens to both your father and your mother, you're lost in the sauce.
Right.
But also in social media, there was a gentleman who posted, if there were to be an emergency or in a protest, what to do and how to handle it. I mean, it was very real, even though I'm not sure. I didn't listen to what the police how they were preparing for this, but there were hundreds of thousands of people there, and so you're kind of caught in this group of people. Right. So where do you go? What do you do?
How do you prevent getting trampled?
Exactly. So our plan was, don't leave each other. Whatever happens, don't leave anyone behind. Just stay close. Yeah. Our friend who took her son, she put his name and her phone number on his arm.
And a Sharpie marker.
Yeah, and a Sharpie.
Ooh,
should they get, separated or in some kind of chaos, that he had his name and his phone number on his arm.
Yeah.
So there were, things that we have to do in order to participate in life.
Yeah.
And just
I think there
alert.
should be like a protocol, or maybe I'm sure there probably is, but like you need to be aware when you're doing stuff like this, especially if you're going to take your family, take your kids. There should be a protocol, a checklist of things that you should have and bring. And I brought masks just in case there was, I don't know, God forbid, some type of, aerial, whatever. I don't know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, but, I think that's good in just everything in general.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
2018, how we live, like just to be cautious and aware of everything and be prepared and let your kids know and just
and have very real and candid conversations. My kids were disturbed. My youngest one was like, if there's this risk that you're going, why are you doing this? Yeah. He said that to me. So why would you want to go?
Living. It's like the planes when they cry. You can't stop taking a plane. You can't stop taking it. You can't stop living.
Right.
You just have to be aware, and it's just an interesting new day that we have. And
exactly.
for our kids, unfortunately, it's more like, really? You have to almost put that little fear in them.
Yeah.
When I got home, my oldest was like, you made it back.
Was he happy about that?
Yes, he was. Okay. And then he told his dad, your wife is a doomsdayer. I'm like, no, I'm not. But I don't want to run out of town. I want to talk about these hats.
Yes.
Run out of time. I'm not running out of town.
So there was a couple articles that I read that the organizer of the Women's March said that she was not going to be wearing these hats actually this year. Did you read that there was a little bit of a controversy around the hats? Some people were saying, and we did see a lot of hats. Like there was a ton of pink hats.
Yeah.
I don't mind them. I'm kind of like still trying to mill over what the controversy is. So some people are saying that the transgendered community was very irritated and annoyed with the pussy hats because I guess some of them don't have vaginas or they haven't made their vaginas yet, or I don't know. They had a problem because they felt excluded. And then a lot of other people, some groups are saying, well, my coochie isn't pink, so why are they pink hats? So people were feeling like it's not representative of me. And I'm kind of like, okay, I was like, okay, let's take a step back. But I do I like the symbolism.
Right.
And I do like that some people were saying, initially it started with like a pattern online and people were knitting them and crocheting them. And they picked the color pink last year because one, it was going to stand out. And two, it's kind of like a feminine color. So, I guess it's a girly type of color. So let's pick pink. It's going to stand out. And we're making the pussy hats because it was in direct reference to President Trump saying that he was going to grab people by the pussy, which is like
grab the women.
Yeah, grab
he
women.
Could grab them by it.
Yeah, and I guess if you're a transgendered person that has now a vagina, you are in danger of being grabbed by the pussy as well. So just to let you know that. So when you get pussy, you are in danger of it being grabbed.
Oh my God!
Just so that you know, that's the disclaimer.
Wow. So welcome to womanhood.
Yes.
Exactly. That's what you wanted.
These are the benefits.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying.
Whatever.
You guys.
So there was a pattern online, and so I like the idea that it doesn't necessarily have to be pink. So if you don't have a pink coochie, you have a tan one or a brown one or whatever color it is, make it to your color if you so choose. But they also said that the idea was so that people could wear them at the march to stand out and be able to stand out. But also if you couldn't make it to the march and you made it, you could wear it on that day and say, I still stand with these people. I'm going to have my pussy hat on too, to kind of, show support. So I feel like we're being a little extra when we're getting all into this, but I hear the arguments. I hear it. I get it.
I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
Understand.
Yes, too much.
Yeah.
I get it.
I don't get it.
People want to feel included. People want to feel inclusive, and you don't want to make anybody.
So then what's the point of the
excluded.
march?
Well, because you don't want to make anybody feel excluded.
Oh
you
my
don't
God.
want to.
So then we shouldn't call it a women's march. We should call it a people's march.
Well, I don't know. Listen, the organizers might decide to change it. I don't know. But as how it stands right now, I get it. But it's something that's fluid. It doesn't have to be so. Oh my God!
Okay,
symbolic,
but why do we have
and it
to
has
change?
To be this
just because somebody
pussy.
complains about a color, we got to change it.
Well, some people weren't even wearing them,
so they don't have to wear it.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm with you. I think I didn't go on the Women's March, but I was there in energy and spirit, and I have done a lot of marches. I felt what I'm going to do is really be a supportive woman of women,
right,
and be that, which I already am, but to continue to do that, so that the Time's Up is never going to be a Time's Up,
right,
and people are always going to have so many different opinions about everything. As long as you are marching for justice, for all kind of justice, that's what I listen to.
Yeah.
All this other ridiculousness is like ridiculous, because it's like you want to have something to say. Well, you just need to be standing for justice for people, for women and kids, and different and civil rights and all kind of things. That's what it's about. All this little stuff. I'm so way old for that.
It's petty.
It's like I
I
hear you talking, but I don't even hear you talk. I won't even say that because I said too many words.
That's good.
If you say don't even wear the hat. Just keep it moving.
I get how
stand for justice and keep it moving.
The irony of that argument is that the transgender community, gets to march and there was a representative there on the rally. They get to march and participate and march for their cause.
Right.
We're not telling them, well, do you have a vagina today?
Yeah.
You can't be with us today. It wasn't even about that yesterday.
Yeah.
It was just a women's march. This young girl who started this was doing it as to a reaction of what the president said, and so it took off. It wasn't even something that she was intentional about. It went crazy on social media.
What I've realized as I'm older, small little things like that is taking away from the effect of really what the whole picture is about.
The cause.
So any time of nitpicking on any kind of thing takes away from the whole cause. But you have to stay persistent on standing for justice, just like tying it into wearing black. It's like stay consistent so that this isn't just we'll do it this award show and then everyone back to work and everything's the same.
Yeah.
It's like we have to keep the same thing for us, for our children, for our female children, just to continue, because it doesn't stop. It doesn't. Yeah, when you stand for justice, it's an ongoing your whole life, every day.
Yeah. Whether you have a hat on, a pink hat, a brown hat, a purple hat,
you just need to be out there. And if I'm out there marching and we're having a conversation about a hat, I need to just keep on marching.
Yeah. And the thing is that they're missing the point, honestly, on the hat. The hat is not about it being pink. The hat is about what's being said of women. Right. So if they want to transgender into being women, then they should stand behind the hat, the symbolism of the hat. Who cares what the color is? Right. So that's like so petty. I'm like annoyed. That's like so annoying. My goodness. Because whatever you try to do, people will just, if we don't get on the same page, then we're fractured. Our movement doesn't matter, because in it you're fractured. Then what's the point of it? You have to be united regardless. Like I wasn't going to get up there and say, I don't, like there was a Right to Life march the day before.
No, it was that day.
Well, in some states it was the day before.
Oh, okay. In LA it was right afterwards. It was in a different area. They were on Alvera Street, and they were marching very close. But it was the same
in New York. It was
like
the day
12.
before. Yeah. So it was the day before. So my point is, why didn't they march with the women? So last year they claimed that the women's march did not want them to march in that
the Right to Life
the Right to Life people, which I thought was ironic, because just as you're pro-choice and you're pro-life, you should be united, and it's a women's issue. Why can't we march together? Why is that you can't do this?
Because the people who are pro-life don't agree with the ability for women to have abortions if they so
I know,
choose.
but it's a women's march. This is what I'm saying. When we
it's
march,
a women's issue.
It's a women's issue. There is no I can't tell transgender, you can't come because you don't have a coochie. Yeah. You can't come because you're not we're all united. Like we said, it was a humanitarian march.
That's an interesting point, though. I'd be interested to find out who said who. Like, did the women's march say, we don't want you guys to come? Yep. Or did the pro-life people say, we don't want to be with you?
No. Women's march told them, we don't want you to, because they felt that they didn't align themselves with all the...
Well, because how is that going to work? You have people who are pro-choice and you have people who are pro-life.
But you're saying it's still the right.
It's still the right of women.
Right. Yeah. But how are they going to coincide and march together?
Right.
Are they going to be able to?
And
would they be able to without arguing?
And this is what I say. Then have your march on your different day. Let's just keep marching.
Well, they did.
And
they did. And they have. And it's but I just feel like that's a little hypocritical. Because I feel like we should all, because I didn't agree with all the people that were there yesterday. There's a lot of things I don't agree with, but I'm like, that's your cause.
Exactly.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say that I agree with everybody that was on that stage or all the arguments or all the. I'm not going to say that to be true, but I marched with them because that's their cause. That's what they want to, rally around. That's what they want to march about, and go for it. I was just being part of this movement.
Right.
Yeah. So I and then of course these. Stupid.
I like the hats. Listen, I love the hats. I'm gonna wear my hat. Outside of the march, because I think it's cute. I like the color pink, and I like
did
the
a movie.
pussy hat.
Chirac, Spike Lee directed it, and in the movie, it's from a Greek play called Lysistrata, and in the movie, we had shirts that said "No pussy, no peace." And so I still have the shirt. So I didn't go to the march last year, but I wore it. But that's the truth. The women stopped being with their men so that they wouldn't have war, and it worked. But I think the pink for me, it just represents a woman.
Yeah. It's a feminine color. It's not. I rarely wear pink. It's not my favorite color, and surprise. But I wore it because it's in solidarity of the movement. It wasn't like I was like, I'm not gonna wear it because it's pink and I don't like pink. Like, really, just put the hat on.
Yeah. And if you want to make it a different color to match your coochie, make it a different color. Or
just wear the darn pink
different
hat.
color.
And it's different shades of pink. They have different shades of pink.
Okay,
exactly. Just march and be peaceful.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, I agree.
Stand for something.
You're losing out on the point if you're getting very caught up in just this symbolism of it. Yeah, just
stand for something.
It was just that's so petty. But anyway, but I just find that ironic. It's Mm-hmm. And listen, there were a lot of marchers who were Christian marchers. They were progressive Christians, and they had their stuff and their banners and stuff like that. So to say that, if you're pro-life or pro-choice, you couldn't be in the same place, that's not true. Because there was one lady telling us we were all going to hell. Did you remember that?
Oh, yeah. She was like, you're going to hell. I don't want you to go to hell.
Yeah, that was interesting.
What were you going to say?
I was like, I'm not going to hell. I'm not going to, I promise you I'm not going to hell.
She was screaming.
Yeah, it was a little too much. But, you had a little bit of that.
And the different religions. We had the Hare Krishnas there.
Yes.
They were feeding people. I thought that was amazing. I did not know that. I did not know that they did that. And that food smelled good. Yeah, I mean, it was rice and chickpeas, and I was like,
we walked over there while they were still making our food at the Boricua truck, which someone asked online about this Boricua food. It's called Triple Threat, and it's a food truck. You can follow them on Instagram. They're getting a free plug from me.
That took 45 minutes.
It took 45 minutes to make our food.
An hour.
Yeah.
And I got no mofongo.
And she didn't get the mofongo she wanted, which she could have gotten had she ordered it and waited the 45 minutes anyway. But the food was delicious, and the people were in line. We were laughing because we were like, okay, all these people can't possibly be Puerto Rican, and we knew the truck was going to be there. So we thought, oh, that's probably going to be the shortest line because nobody knows Puerto Rican food. Oh, no.
It was one of the longest lines.
It was one of the longest lines. But it
Puerto
was,
Rico.
Yeah. So, yeah, that was kind of fun to have, bump into that. That's where we got stuck and didn't hear all the wonderful speeches.
Right. That's okay.
But we saw a lot of people. We met some people. And
met some interesting people.
Yeah, we talked with some folks. There are a lot of things. But I just want to say, someone is asking me online about Rita. And they're saying, let's hear from Rita. Did I miss what's new? Is the mayor coming back? What's next for her?
Well, the mayor is canceled on ABC, and they're shopping it around for other networks. So be very positive that it comes back because it's a very good show. It's a great show. I
caught a couple episodes. It was very funny.
We saw the lead at the march.
Yvette,
she was
Nicole
there.
Brown. The show is great. It's positive. So I'm staying prayerful and positive that another network will pick it up. And what's next for me is I'm working on the Bobby Brown story, which is a living icon, and I'm on
Is he a part of the
authorized or unauthorized?
No, they're authorized.
They're authorized.
So New Edition was authorized. Bobby Brown's authorized.
So
they signed off on
Rita
it.
designed the New Edition series. It was like
it was a mini series, which also won. You hit the thing. Oh yes, it also won an NAACP award for writing and best movie miniseries. And
nice.
Yeah, it did 30 million.
Nice.
A New Edition movie.
Awesome.
So this is the other part of it, the Bobby Brown.
So
yes, he is a part of it. Him and his wife are a part of it.
So are they producers on the project, or they're kind of consulting, or consulting?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
That consulting, producing, the whole thing. They're a part of it. They signed off on it.
How do you feel about like if someone came to you and wanted you to work on something that was unauthorized? Because I've been watching The Escape. I watched trash TV.
What's The Escape?
You know, the group Escape. They got back together.
Oh yeah, you mean that?
Yeah, they are doing, supposedly there is like an unauthorized version of their story that's being put out or shopped around or something, and so that's kind of sketchy. And I feel badly for artists like that. They've gotten together and are trying to fight it. But how do you feel about that?
That's a good question. I haven't had anything like that, but I look at the projects that come my way if it's something that I want to be a part of. If it's something that I'm not for, if I'm against, if it doesn't settle right with me, then I want to do it. I did a Searching for Neverland, which was Lifetime about Michael Jackson, and it was from the book that the bodyguards wrote.
Right.
So it was not authorized by the family, but it was from these bodyguards' point of view.
Right.
And it was a very sweet story. But if I didn't like the story, then I would say no. So I look at my projects like that.
Gotcha.
It just has to settle right
You have
with
to connect with it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there you go.
Very good.
Yeah.
That's what
Very
Rita's
good.
doing. Yay.
So positive vibes sent
Yes,
out there.
Absolutely.
So we only got 5 minutes left.
Yes, Lord Jesus.
We're gonna wrap up so wrapping up the Women's March. It was a great day. It was a great movement. I was trying to look for numbers online, but I believe Mayor Eric Garcetti tweeted out that there was close to or over 600,000 people downtown Los Angeles for the Women's March on Saturday. And then the Women's March Facebook page put out 1 million, which I believe was 1 million for the state of California.
Correct.
All kind of total combined for all the major cities.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Excuse me, and everybody that was participating for the state of California. So I think that's amazing. Amazing turnout. I believe it was almost the same amount of people that showed up last year.
Yeah.
In downtown LA, and I think it's fantastic. I will try to go every year.
Yeah,
hopefully
it's
they
worth
continue to have it. I had a great experience, everything from the people to the speakers, the people around me, being there, being inspired. I can't say enough great things about it, and I would bring my family.
Yeah.
I would bring my children.
next
and
year I'd
hopefully
bring
we
my
can,
sons,
we
yeah.
can do that.
Yeah, I think if you have sons, you should bring them to
For
this.
sure.
Oh, absolutely.
Absolutely. My son was like, I couldn't. I said to him, you should have gone. He goes, I couldn't. You had me running errands all
Yeah.
morning. I said, oh, yeah, that part. Yeah, I would definitely bring my sons and have them participate because this is something that
Yeah.
it brings awareness and sensitivity, empathy, compassion, all these layers of things that, young men need to be a part of.
Yeah, young
And,
men, young women,
Yeah, it was great.
our youth, just period,
Yeah.
because these are our future. These
And,
are the
and these are
people.
the issues they're going to have to deal with.
Absolutely.
Like we're marching, but the actual input and the effect of it and
Yeah.
the act, making them work out, our kids are
Yeah.
going to have to
And the Me
be
Too
aware.
movement, the Time's Up movement, the Time's Up Again is a great organization that is giving free legal advice. If you go onto their website, timesup.com, I think, or timesup.org, you go to their website, and if you have been a victim of sexual abuse or sexual harassment, they are helping you find resources, and also, I believe, financially you can apply. So I think that's a great organization that has been birthed out of all of this stuff that's coming out from the Me Too movement and people.
Yeah.
And I would like to say that, like I said, I didn't do the march, but I've done so marches in my life. I think it's really also about being a forward thinker and being positive and standing for justice and integrity for rights of people.
Yeah.
And to continue to do that. And then especially women standing for each other
Yes.
and not being catty
Yes.
with each other, because
Yes.
you can't have 5 women that say this happened and then this didn't happen. So our march continues on in our daily life to stand for justice and to stand next to women.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
That
And we
women
need
need to come to
Yes.
women need to come together.
Yeah.
And that's how we will raise great men and be in great relationships with men and other women and just our kids and people in general. But I feel for me not actually participating, but my march continues on with standing for justice and for
No,
women.
you're absolutely right. We
Yeah.
have to show up for each other.
Yeah. Speaking of showing up.
And sorry I was late.
No, I'm saying showing up for each other and standing with each other. On the train ride back home, there was a little incident that we saw real quickly.
We're going to run out of time, but you better say that story real fast.
With a young lady.
Oh,
and
it's terrible.
My thing is that we need to instill confidence. And so if this march brings about awareness, is self-esteem and confidence to one another, uplifting each other, being there for each other. Like, I wanted to tell this girl, you need to stop with this foolishness and leave this man, because he was basically arguing with her, calling her all kinds of names, about to hit her on the train in an argument. This is why I cannot take public transportation, because had I not been so damn tired, I would have said something, and if I was younger, I know I would have said something. So I cannot be on the bus and take public transportation, because I'll probably get shot, and I got a family to to think about. But it was awful. And all this girl needed was some self-esteem. And I'm like, you are beautiful. You are intelligent. And why are you letting this man talk to you like this?
Time's up, girl.
Yeah.
Time is up. And she needed to get a clue. And I wanted to just take her and say to her,
I think we're
you
getting
don't
a
need
call
him.
at this
late
hour.
late. Oh, it's time to go.
I know.
So yeah, I just self-esteem. That's
it's key, and we gotta encourage one another and stand up for one another, no matter what path you have taken in life. Hey, we have run out of time. I want to thank Rita McGee for joining us and sharing her story. We also want to let you know that next week we have a really fascinating show. We didn't get to talk about politics, but we're going to have some interesting guests. The show is titled Politics Then and Now. So it's going to be pretty interesting. I would suggest you tune in next Monday. We hope you've been informed, educated, and entertained. Catch us next Monday live on LA Talk Radio. Woo. Thank you for joining us, and have a great rest of your week.
Bye.
Bye.
You're listening to Table for Five with Felicia and Annette, only on LA Talk Radio.